Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and we have gathered here today to witness a sacrifice. Starting with this cube. Goodbye, cube. Okay, what are we here for? Well, we're going to showcase a new level design tool. It is available as an add-on, and it is called the Anvil Level Design. This is TrenchBroom style leveling tool, so it's UV tools, texturing, and grid controls for level design. So if you're boxing out your levels, this is going to make Blender work magically for you. So once you've enabled this, you're going to notice here, it is available and added two workflows. So we got workspace for level design and then hotspot mapping. We'll get back to hotspot mapping in just a sec. Let's go over here to level design and I'll showcase kind of how this thing works. So first thing you're going to want is some texture. So I'm going to go ahead here and a directory of textures like that. If you're going to start prototyping your level, just a number of textures that'll handle them all for you. So now I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, add a mesh of type plane, and let's do a scale 10 like so. And how do I go ahead and make that grassy? Well, I click. That's it. That's all you need to do, and it handles everything else for you. So there is a graphy world. By the way, if you want to tile it or whatever, you've got easy control over here with this setting right there, but you can basically, that's how fast it is to create something in the world. Let's say I want to create a crate in this world. So come in here and then boom, go ahead, create a cube. Let's just do a GZ1 to get that out of the ground. So with no faces selected, what I could do is basically come on in here and I can go ahead and select this. And then boom, I have a cube. Now what you may notice here is my cube is not really what I want. My crate doesn't look very cratey. So what I'm going to do is come in here and go to Anvil settings, and I'm going to say fit to face. Boom. We just had a cube or a crate designed in our world. Super, super easy stuff here. Now, another thing I want to point out that you really can't see in a video, way I'm navigating the world. And this is the way I wish Blender worked all along. Basically, right mouse button, just like in any game engine. WASD keys. So while you're in this mode and you move around, it is all just like you would use in Unity, Godot, or Unreal Engine. One of these things I do wish that Blender would switch to this. Hitting Control Escape to go into fly mode is just super annoying. By the way, hit Control and then right key will bring up the normal menu there. I wish this was the default, by the way, for all of Blender, not just for this tool. But when you're in level design and hotspot mapping, it will work that way. If you want to go ahead and change those things, this is all configurable. So everything that this thing does is configurable down here. So what we can also do, let's go ahead and create another cube like so. And then GZ1 and then GY minus 4. All right, there we go. So here we go. Our cube, our other cube in the world is selected. And now let's say we want to, we're going to go ahead and start creating our world. What we might want to do, say this was, I don't know. Let's do a cut here. So with this guy selected, I'm going to go into edit mode and then I'm going to hit C, which puts us in their cutting tools. So you can see here, I drop an edge, another edge, and then boom. So we just did a plane cut right there. And now what I can do is basically go over here to this mode. And I'm going to select this singular face right here, and let's make that our doorway. So I just click our texture, and boom, it populates it as the doorway. Now you're going to notice it actually populated as 4 doorways, which is probably not what we want. So what we do is just basically come on down here and say fit to face. And now let's select our other textures around the outside edge, like so. Oh, shit, I stopped hitting shift. All right, so everything else, like so. And then you want to populate, you want to make them say stone, just boom, put your stone in like so. Then down here, it's set to the wrong setting, so boom, there. So now we have our little simple stone building like so. And again, you've got all your traditional controls here as well. So I hit E to extrude, for example, and then boom, it's going to repeat the pattern what we go. Now what you notice here is I probably don't want to have a bunch more doors going on. So what I can actually do is I can alt-click on a surface and then boom, and it'll paint those in. Same thing here. I have my room, so I'm just going to come up here, select all those, and let's give it this tile at the top. And again, you can change out the alignment, the way that it fits, fit to face, and so on. And it's going to see, obviously, going to be relative to all the other things selected. So you got a bunch of different modes here for handling how things work. And then once again, I can come back in here, and I can do my box cutting mode. So hit C, and I'm going to go here to here, and then, all right, oops, I did not mean to cut it that way. So let me do it again. So let me just select everything. So C, there, and back. And then I can just go ahead, grab this edge right here, and I'll just do grab, and let's move that up. And there is our roof on our surface. So super simple to get things going. You should be able to go ahead and do just normal loop cuts if you want as well. So something like this, and then I could go ahead and select this face and change its material as well. But I don't want you to quote me on this because I don't think it's working. There we go. I don't know why it didn't select on that one, but as you can see right there. Now, another thing you may find is like, let's go back here and select. So let's go over here. So again, you've got object and edit mode here. Object mode, edit. We'll select that tab right there, and I hit T, and then I can go each direction to reorientate to a different direction or perspective. So you got a number of tools here as well. So again, all of the face layout stuff, you can change how the textures show up. I believe there's emissiveness under the experimental stuff here. You have top level stuff here, so you can say like how big a pixel is per meter and so on. You do have snapping controls as well, like there is grid setups up here. And then finally, you've got a couple of tools here for exporting out to GLTF. I think this is mostly placeholder for stuff that is going to come later on. Now, another aspect of this tool is this. So this is the hotspot aspect, so the hotspot mapping, and you got a full walkthrough of hotspots. Basically, it's an algorithm to automatically apply textures from an atlas to a mesh face. It can be used to add details to some annoying elements, curved pipes and so on, and then whole details of how orientation can work, how faces can be set up, angles and so on, manual seams. So basically you've created this texture atlas which can then be rapidly applied to objects. So for example, our setup over here, this compound shape right here, is being done through this. So let's go here to edit mode. And then what you're going to see, all these various different options. So it's automatic hotspot done right there. So I can just go ahead and randomize, and we're going to get different values. So metal plates versus concrete floors, so on and so forth, based off of how the hotspotting is set up. Now, what is a hotspot? Like I said, it's a texture atlas. So here you can see the various different hotspots are being set up here. So wooden beams, metal plates, brick walls, plaster ceilings, and so on. So you have these various different grids of them that have been subdivided and cut down, and then each defined into, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hotspots defined here. So the 6 hotspots, so this can be any direction or any direction. This one can only be pointing upward, only be ceiling, floor, and so on. So you can change any one of these. So we could change these to like literally any for all of them, like so. And then we go back over here. If we select this guy right there, so let's get that going here. So hotspot. So I could go ahead here and randomize. Now it could literally be anything, regardless to what the orientation settings were. So if I made it something so that was up only, so floor only, this one, for example, could only be set to things that could be floor value, although literally right now I have everything set to any, so literally anything can be set up as anything. And also, of course, you could pick a surface. So here, I'm setting up my, here, I'm setting that one up. I can come in here and I can actually say, okay, choose hotspot, and I literally pick. So if I want it to be wooden beams, boom, turn that into wooden beams. And then over here, I go again and choose hotspot and make that a concrete floor or whatever. But you'll only be able to choose the things that go in the orientation of the thing that you are currently setting up. Again, another very handy tool for rapid prototyping of levels. So if you're interested in learning more, this is a free and open source project. It is called Anvil Level Design. If you do like what he's doing, give him a star over here. It is GPL licensed, which is the same as Blender. I don't know if there's anything you need to be aware of there. If you make any changes to code, you got to contribute those changes back. But as long as you're just using it as a tool, you should be able to use it in your game without any ramifications there. I'm not your lawyer, but one of those things to be aware of. So it is an add-on for Blender, combines various tools to speed up video game level design, particularly focused on material application, but overall scope is varied. It is inspired by TrenchBroom. AI was used in the creation. This is a hobbyist project. It does require you to use at least Blender 5.1 or above. And in terms of if you want to find out more, so you got a ton of things here. So B to quickly add cubes, G to move, E to extrude. Those are normal settings here. And then they've changed some things in the controls, of course. So you've got the T key to handle texture orientation. Shift T, you can change it as well. Then you've got various different other tools here. They're all defined here. They're all configurable in the tool as well. So all the documentation of how to get used to using this are available here if you want to go ahead and check that one out. So once again, Anvil Level Design Tool. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. Talk to you all later. Goodbye.